Good morning, guys. About a year ago, I was hired to revamp the IT department at the Donaldson organization. It's a 100-year-old construction company, and I saw this as a very routine job that I've done before over the years that I've been in IT fields. And I started out, and I was ready to hit the ground running, and I was hit with tons of safety requirements that I had to do. So I looked at myself, I'm like, I'm not really fulfilling any tasks or any need at this job. I'm here doing all these safety requirements. So one day I was in the office and I overheard a conversation with a project manager and a foreman. And the project manager was arguing that you have to send in these reports on time or else we're gonna get fined. And the foreman is like, hey, look, I have all these things I have to do, and the last thing that was on my mind is filling out a report. Later on that day, I spoke to the project manager and I wanted to inquire about what these reports were, and I found out that on average, every foreman has to fill out about 10 documents daily and actually send them in. I'm sorry. And he has to send them in, and these documents, they are just to monitor work process and safety. There goes that word again, safety. That's all I've been doing for the last month, is safety. On average, about 20% of the workforce death in the US happen at a construction site. And this is from all kinds of weird issues. So what I want to do is I actually want to go visit the construction site now that I'm actually able to do it. And the first thing that I noticed in visiting the construction sites were that the foremans that we have are violating safety requirements by carrying around large stacks of paper. So I asked one of the guys, hey, why do you have all these papers with you? He says, well, the only way I can do my job is to carry around these papers with me. So I said, why don't you put it in your trailer? He's like, well, my trailer is downstairs on the ground floor. We're on the 18th floor. It's about 15 minutes to wait for the elevator to go downstairs and another 15 minutes to come up. Like, if I had to run back to my trailer every day, I won't get any work done. I spoke to another foreman that was doing a smaller job, and he said, hey, look, on this job site, it's very small. There's no space for me to have a personal storage here, so I leave all my paperwork in the car, and I bring all the stuff I need with me. And then I said, this is an issue that a lot of guys are having, and maybe we could find a way to actually solve this issue. So in trying to find out the issue that these foremen were dealing with, I decided to visit more and more sites. And a lot of the issues that they spoke about came down to easing their need to work, easing their need and have easier access to the documents that they needed. I'm sorry. I realized by helping them reduce the amount of documents that they carry could resolve a lot of issues that they had with not only our project managers but the general contractors on site, and also save the company money, because for every time that we fail to submit the proper documentation, we would get fined. Reducing the frustration that they have is, I thought, by creating an electronic version of the documents that they used would actually make it easier for them to actually store the documents, create new documents, and also file them out. So at a later point, if they needed to have access to them, they could do that. And also, one of the things that we never focused on was the flip side. Imagine you're sending in 10 documents to the office daily. We have 100 foremen. Imagine the piles of paper that we would actually generate. So this is going to reduce our storage costs, and it's going to make it a lot easier for us to actually access documents that we need on a daily basis. This is a screenshot of two of the most used documents that we do daily. Just by doing this alone reduces the amount of paperwork that the firm has to do, reduce the amount of paperwork that has to be processed in the office. And it's designed to be very clean. The foreman's major drawback is that they're not tech savvy. So by creating a solution that they could easily use and easily look at and process without having any directions will be very beneficial. The only drawback that we had, that once the foreman saw that these processes were being put in place, they just felt that they might be kind of putting themselves out of work. But we informed them that this is not going to put you out of work. This will actually make the company be able to process jobs a lot faster, do bigger jobs, and if there's any legal action against us, we are able to process it a lot quickly, not bring someone out from the field just to go look for a document that you created 2 years ago. And that's it.
Thank you.